Hello, welcome to A Page in Time, where you can find anything you're looking for. If we don't have it here, we can acquire it for you so long as you give us the time. Ah, you're looking for the proprietor. I'm afraid the proprietor isn't here at the moment, so any questions can be directed to me. My name is John. Ah, you need the owner directly. Well, I would suggest that for the time being, you take a look around the store instead. There must be a book around here somewhere that you'd be interested in, since the owner isn't here to help you out with whatever problem only she can take care of. Yes. Are you sure you're in the right place? Well, it's just, you seem a little lost. Even if you did just wander in thinking you could just talk to the owner of this place, maybe thinking it was somewhere else, maybe I can introduce you to a few books. No, it won't take that long. Besides, if you listen to me ramble on about books for a while, you might find something you like. And I suppose the owner might come back in that time, but I highly doubt it. She said she would be out for probably most of the day, if not the entire day. Right, so what kind of books do you like to read? Oh, well, I guess people are not reading books as often these days. Never thought I'd find someone that really doesn't read books at all. Odd choice to walk into a bookstore when you don't really read books. Almost seems as if you have another motive in mind. That's the spirit. I knew you'd get into it. After all, who doesn't love a good book? Just curling up by the fire, under some kind of blankets, just enjoying the story that's told to you. Yes, I guess audio books, stories are a way to do that, but I'm old-fashioned. I've been around a long time, and I'm not all that interested in the newer forms of storytelling. So how about I show you the original forms of storytelling instead? Good. You can't keep putting me off like this, I promise. I will make it fun for you. Somehow. Even if you are into these more technological storytelling things. Right. Well, again, what kind of stories do you like to, I guess, listen to in that case? Alright. All over the place? Well, I guess in that case we could start with an absolute classic in Lord of the Rings. It is a rather beefy tale, but there have been multiple revisions that make it a little bit less wordy, and some that enhance the story as well. Oh, you've heard about it. That's good. I'm not sure how many people have heard about the more classic stories these days, and Lord of the Rings really is a great tale of friendship and journeying through hardships and really the strength of the human heart. Right. Maybe a little bit too long for you? Okay, well, we can always move to the next section instead. What about... Are you... You're not an avid reader, so perhaps instead... The... What about the Fablehaven series? Well, it is a young adult novel series, but I rather enjoy it even though I'm rather old. So, I was thinking, maybe you might enjoy it. Not quite that young. Well, that's a shame. It's a wonderful adventure story that I quite enjoy, using a lot of things you wouldn't quite expect out of a young adult novel series when it comes down to it. So, what next? What next? Well, are you looking for a series? Well, I'm actually going to give you series to read whether you're looking for them or not. Because in the end, I really think it will enhance your enjoyment if you can go from one story to the next. Maybe one that's a little bit less linear and more self-contained in each book. You could read the name keeps escaping me. Perhaps, it's not the Song of Ice and Fire. That's the wrong setting, fantasy. I'm thinking of a sci-fi series. Right. It's Nemesis Rising, The League, by Sherilyn Kenyon. I piqued your No, I didn't? Dang. Well, anyways, The League is about a group of assassins that are rather cynical to people in general, and each book is them finding someone they can trust, and therefore kind of leading them back to trusting the humanity in people. Well, certain people, not everyone, but I rather enjoy each of these self-contained stories, because they're very good at showing the emotion of each character within the relationship and not really gliding over or making the story or making the characters fit the story. It's quite an enjoyment to read Nemesis kind of coming out of his shell with a ballerina dancer, or Sin Wade coming out of his drunkenness to try and aid a skip tracer who's trying to bring him in. That one's really amusing, actually, because they're constantly getting into situations, I'll say. And the series continues from there, of course. There is one that's kind of set outside that series called Born of Ice. I enjoy that one because it's very much a story about two broken souls that are able to fit together in a way you wouldn't expect. Does that sound interesting to you? No. You are really on a railroad? I'm not sure what they call it nowadays, but it's odd that you seem very focused on meeting the owner of a bookstore when you don't read books, per se. But I still feel that I can interest you in something. Let's see. There's the Mercy Thompson series. I personally find it difficult to get past a certain book in the series, and the quality kind of feels like it goes downhill from that book, but many people still enjoy it. I personally prefer the spin-off series Alpha and Omega instead. Well, you might start to get the feeling of what I like to read, but it's about two broken people that kind of figure out how to be people again through each other, and not all at once like most romance where all the trauma is healed all of a sudden and they're able to trust people and just be together. Rather, it's two people journeying together to find who they are together after they help each other heal, so that they can be themselves. Not that one. Not into werewolves? Okay. Let's see. There is, of course, something similar to the Mercy Thompson. Well, not really similar, but it's still urban fantasy in a post-apocalyptic world. The Kate Daniels novels. Haven't heard of that one either. Well, maybe I can introduce you to that one. Still on about meeting the owner. I must be irritating you, then, in that case, because I keep trying to introduce you to different books. You sure you don't want to try the Shannara? You should be careful who you start yelling at. After all, you don't know how dangerous the people you might be talking to are. Monsters hide in plain sight. You never know where they might lurk, and it isn't always in the shadows. You see, this is what reading books can get you. You might learn something from reading even the fantasy novels that you didn't quite expect you would learn. All right, so let me see. You're just not interested in books, just the owner of this place, which is why it kind of seems odd that you decided to walk in here, a bookstore, and inquire about the owner, which makes me think that you're searching for my wife. Oh, they didn't tell you that, did they? So you're supposed to be the last-ditch efforts, the wasted potential, perhaps, or the disposable one. How old are you? Oh, I didn't mean in human years. I meant in descendant years, or I guess the more modern term is vampire. I really don't like that term, so I'll use descendant instead, if you don't mind, or sanguivore. No, that just sounds like a disease. Well, I guess you could say we are technically a disease on the face of the earth, but you're not going to distract me. You're looking for my wife, Aryanna Grimm, the proprietor. Well, I suppose owner is a more appropriate term, of A Page in Time Incorporated. All the stores, everyone. Though I am curious to figure out how you knew that this one would be where she's supposed to be today. That knowledge isn't supposed to be common. I suppose I could break your mind. But where's the fun in that? I'd rather send you back to them as a spy for us. And that's what you're surprised about. You're surprised that descendants, vampires, as you eloquently put it, have spouses. Of course, the centuries get rather lonely, and with only the hunger and the beast to accompany us, it's usually better to have companionship. And I'm lucky enough to have two. Yes, why would human laws and human concerns matter to me? I'm over 200 years old. Why does the propriety of humans matter to me? Perhaps in time you will rid yourselves of such human expectations of the world. But that does tell me something. You are rather newly made, which means that you are deliberately a throwaway to test if we're prepared for them. Stop. You're not going anywhere. You came in here to kill my wife. And you think I'm gonna let you walk out of here because you're a new vampire? I guess I can use your vernacular for the time being, but I'm not going to just let you go. When I'm finished with you, you're going to wish they never made you a vampire. Hello, my sparkles of adventure. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I'm hoping that if you've made it this far, you enjoyed the character enough to get through all of the rambling. This is, I suppose you could call it the debut of one of my favorite RPG characters that I've played in Vampire the Masquerade. And, well, I'm hoping I did him justice. It's a little difficult getting someone from off, like, I was doing it text-based wise, so I guess from the page to the voice, and I honestly don't really want to ruin him, especially not while introducing him to other people. There probably will be another part to this. Maybe. I haven't decided yet whether or not I'll continue with this. Anyways, shine. And shine the way that only you can shine. And for those of you that might be struggling to do so, remember to keep your chin up. There are things around you that you're missing while you're looking at the ground. And it's better to put in the effort to keep your head up and look around at the things around you so that you can shine again than to kind of let the darkness take you. With that in mind, I'll see you next time.